Hi and welcome to the world of cool jazz. Sandra Sherman here from hot Austria. Paul Desmond and Dave Brubeck were one of the founders of cool jazz, and I guess we all know and love their great jazz standard, Take 5. For today's lesson, I've transcribed Paul Desmond's sax solo for guitar. I'll show you everything note for note, slow and easy and detailed, and there's also a slow tempo version towards the end of this lesson. Of course, I also made tabs and backing tracks in various tempos, and you can download them from one of the links down below in the description box. It's an instant download, so no email necessary. This song is so smooth, make sure to not slip off of your chairs. We are, of course, in a 5/4 bar time signature, and while the melody has an A and B section, Paul Desmond decided to play over only this one bar of E flat minor and B flat minor. So it's 3 beats on the E flat minor, 3 and 4, 5 is on B flat minor. So this is 24 bars of the same bar, which is divided into E flat minor and B flat minor. These chords are, usually it's written in G flat major, and we play it in that key, but actually a jazzer interprets the E flat minor as a second degree, so we're in E flat Dorian, which gives us the basic scale of D flat major. So this would be the second degree of the D flat major scale, and this would be the 6th, and that makes a lot more sense than thinking in G flat. All right, so this is all we need to know, and let's get started. Yes, I use my pick, of course, but you can use your fingers to play the solo too. We have motifs, and I'll explain it to you when we get there, but this song is a great song built up on motifs. Yay, here are the first 4 bars, and this is phrase number 1. This is how it works. I play it at regular speed first, always, then I break it all down for you, slow and easy, note for note, and then I play it along with the backing track at a slow tempo, each phrase. All right, let's start. Phrase number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we are in E flat minor, and I play in 2 or 3 different positions. And I start on the 11th of the B string, and now it's that glissando thing from the sax, which is a little hard to mimic on a guitar. But let's try it. 11th of the B string. Then I go to the 8th of the G string, and I slide to the 5th. And then the 8th of the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 3. Shortly after the 3, you slide down, and this is count number 4. All right. Then we have a rest for the 5th beat, and then you go from here with your ring finger right down below to the 8th fret of the G string. Here is the E flat minor, Dorian scale. Fifth pattern. Check out my scale practice exercise. You see the patterns there, and you can ask me for a PDF with all the patterns. All right, so we are here on the root. This is the 8th fret of the G string. 1, 2, and is on the 6th of the B string, and we hammer onto the 7th. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. And this just features, it outlines the E flat minor, minor or minor 7 chord, E flat Dorian. All right, 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Now I change my position up to the 11th fret. Here's an E flat minor on the 11th fret. Most of you know the pentatonic, and here's also a Dorian scale, 2nd pattern. Okay, we start on the E flat. This is the 11th fret of the E string. Then we go down to the 11th of the B, the 13th of the B. It's straight 8 notes. It's not straight 8 notes. It's regular 8 notes, but in swing feel. Then the 11th of the G. Back to the 13, but I've put my finger in a position that I can bridge over to the D for the next note. Alternate picking in your right hand. And to the 11th of the G string. See how nicely, it's actually just a pentatonic. How nicely he emphasizes the chord tones of the E flat. Then he goes back to the 13th of the D string. 1, 2, and he slides from the 10th of the G to the 11th. And then we bridge over to the 11th of the B string. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5. All right, here is the entire phrase at slow tempo with the playback. And here's phrase 2 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, the first 4 bars, phrase number 1, had no motif. And this time we have a motif, and this is gonna continue. 4 bars, no motif, 4 bars, motif, 4 bars, no motif, and so on and so forth. And it is a rhythmic motif, and the notes change all the time. We are on E flat minor 7 here on the 6th fret, and we start on the 8th, which is the root. 1, 2, and then we go to this chord tone, the 7th of the B string. That's the 3rd of the chord. 1, 2, and 3 is a rest. So you see my right hand better? Okay. 1, 2, and 3, and is back to the E flat again. Then the 6th of the B string and the 9th of the B string. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5. The first 3 notes belong to the E flat minor, and the last 2 are arpeggio notes, chord tones of the B flat minor 7 chord. Right? This would be the 5th and the 7th of the B flat, exactly when the B flat sets in, because we have. All right, so you see how perfect this is. Improvised or composed, we don't know, but it's great solo. All right, so here's the first motif, and then it's kind of a call response. Here's the answer to this. All right, we start on the E flat again, 8th fret of the G, 7th of the B, back to the 8. So this is the same as before, but now we have a different rhythm and different chords. Different notes. B flat minor again, and he plays the arpeggio down now. 6th of the B, 6th of the G, 8 and 6 of D string. Over. Da, 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 da. Those are 8 notes. All right, the first 2 bars, 3, 4. Now he repeats the first one. And the second one he changes. First 3 notes are the same, 8, 7, 8, and then he goes up 6, 6 of B and E string. 8, 6, 6. All right, the whole thing slowly. Phrase number 3 is a phrase without a real motif again, 4 bars, and it's not hard to play, but the rhythm is a little tricky. All right, here it is fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We start with a slide to the 9th of the B string. I play from the 8th. I always only slide 1 fret. So this is on one end. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 of the next bar is a rest. Then we're on E flat again. Still same thing here, same scale. 7th with my middle finger. 1 and 2 and going over to the 6th. 1 and 2 and then the 8th fret of the G string, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Then you hear that B flat chord in your ear. You have a rest, and the last one is the 6th of the D string from that bar. Bum, bum. All right, first 2 bars. 4, 5, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Bum, bum. Now I slide again. This is kind of repeated, but this time on a 1, the 9th of the B string. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hear that B flat in change in your ear, and after that you have. This is actually an E flat minor, but it's the B flat minor chord. So I think he anticipates the next E flat minor chord. 9th of the E string, 6th of the E string, and 7. That's E flat minor 7 arpeggio. A little rest, and then the 8th fret, the root of the E flat, and now he's really on E flat. 1 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 4, and the last tone in that phrase is actually a pickup for the next phrase, and that's on count number 5. We are on the 6th fret of the D string. Right, last 2 bars. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. And here it is at slow tempo with the playback. Phrase 4 is a phrase with a motif again, and here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is so awesome. I like it. All right, we start with the E flat. That's the 8th of the G string. Count to 2, and that's our basic rhythm in that motif thing. The same thing as we had in phrase 2, but different notes. But the length of the note is the same. 1, 2, and. Here's always the second note. This is the C, the sixth of the B string. 1, 2, and 3 is always a rest. And then we have here the sixth of the G string, the 8, and the ninth of the B string. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5. This is our motif. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, right? And the second one has the 8 notes at the end. Same, starts the same way. 8 on G, 6th of B, back to 6th of G, and then we have 8 of G, 6, 7, and 9 of B. So those are the 4 fast notes in the end. 3, 4, 5. First 2 bars, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, and. All right. This time it's not repeated. He goes up. 6th fret of the E string. 1, 2, and on the 8th fret. Then the 9th of the B. 1, 2, and 3, and 6 of the E. And then when you jump over to the 11th of the E string, we're changing the pattern now. This was the 5th pattern of E flat Dorian, and now we're going to the first one. All right, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Sorry, 5/4 bar, not 4/4. Then I bridge my pinky over to the 11th, and for the last bar. 1, 2, and is the 8th fret of the E string, then the 9th fret of the B string, and then 4 notes following 11 of B, 8, 9, and 11 of the E string. Last bar. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and last 2 bars. Here's phrase 5 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Things are getting really high now because I guess he wanted to raise the dynamics up because it's the end is near of the solo. All right. We were on the 11th fret, and now we slide from the 12th to the 13th of the high E string. Twice. Once, and I lift a bit off and slide again. 1 and 2, 3, and now that's a sax glissando thing. And again, it's really hard to imitate. Is that the correct word? To mimic this on a guitar. Because you only hear half of the notes. It's really sloppy. It's like whoop. All right, I slide from the 9th to the 6th and go over to the 6th of the B string. E string first, and then I bridge to the 6th of the B. 1 and 2, 3, 4. This is the 4. This is on the beat when the B flat minor sets in. When you play something and you're not sure about the counting, you don't want to play counting all the time anyway. So first make sure to know where things are, so count them through, and then check when is the chord change. So I hear the chord change is here exactly when I land on that last tone. This is beat number 4 because we have 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. On 4 we have the change of the chord. So I don't need to count, I hear it, and this needs to be the last tone. Everything in that I played before happens automatically when I think of this as the chord change. Here's the B flat then. This is the 5th of the B flat. All right. Where are we? Right. And the second bar jumps over to the 11th of the E string. Count number 1. 1, 2, and is the 8. And then the 9th of the B string. This is the rhythmic of the motif again, but it's not really a motif here. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3. Chord change after that. We play nothing, and then on beat number 5 we play the 8th of the G string. 4, 5. First 2 bars. 4, 5. Then I take my index and go to the 9th of the E string. 1, this is a little tricky now. 1, 2, the 11th. 9th, and then I take my middle finger to the 11th of the B string and bridge over to the G string. 1 triplet. Then I pull off the G string from the 11th to the 10th. 1, 2. Then the 11th of the D string. And now I hear the chord change to B flat, and I'm on the 13th of the D string. 13 of D, 10, 11, and 13 of G. Right, so this bar was 1, 2. Again. Now we change to the E flat again, and I'm here on the E flat, 11th of the B and 13th of the D. And then I play the 13th of the D string again. Okay, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that was, I think, the trickiest one of them all. The last one's going to be easier again. So let's play that phrase number 5 again with the playback at slow tempo. Yay, you made it to the last phrase, and as promised, this one is an easy one. Here we go, at fast tempo first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we have a motif again. Same rhythm, different notes. We were at the 13th of the D string, and now we take our index and go to the 6th of the D string. Same string. All right, so 6th of the D string. 1, 2, and the octave. And that's the 9th of the B string. 1, 2, and 3 is the rest again. And now he plays down that E flat minor thing. Arpeggio. 6th again, 7 of B, 6 of B, and 8 of G. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. The rhythm is a little bit different because we have, on count number 4, we have 2 8s now, and previously we always had a quarter note. So then, the answer is just a little flipped around. 6 of D, 9th of B, back to 6th of D, 8 of G, 6 and 7 of B. First 2 bars, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Then the first thing is repeated. So So that first bar, and the second one is 6 of the D string. Then I glide over to the 6th of the B string. I wouldn't let it ring together. I wouldn't bar it. I would play 2 separate notes, but make sure not to go like this, you know, but keep in touch with your guitar so you don't have to look as much. 1, 2, and 3 is the rest again. And then I go in between to the G string, and then the 8 at the 6th, then the 8. I hold it a little longer, and then I go to the 5th of the G, and then with my middle finger from the 6th, I slide over to the 8. There is actually no legato on the last note he plays, but this is so comfortable here on guitar that I just didn't want to go like this, but rather like this. Okay, last bar. Last 2 bars. And a little vibrato is allowed here. Isn't that a nice little solo that Paul Desmond gave us? If you liked it as much as I did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you never want to miss out on a new video, don't forget to hit that little bell notification. I see you next time. Enjoy your time learning. Servus, Baba.